Good afternoon, everyone. As Karen said, my name is Nadine Maruszczak. A tiny bit of background around me. I've spent over a decade building a career across corporate HR, sales leadership in the wine and spirits industry, and entrepreneurial brand consulting. So I'm familiar with navigating many kinds of pivots firsthand. As Karen said, this moment we're living in, it's pretty unsettling. People are not only losing just jobs, but they're losing healthcare, identity, and in many cases, futures that we'd counted on, like Roth IRAs, 401ks, and all of that. As Karen knows, I've reinvented myself more than once, not because it was easy or planned, but because I had to. So, my section here talking about career transitions, I wanted to address three key themes: how to compete and stand out when many others are applying to similar jobs, what it really looks like to pivot into purpose-driven, human-centric work. That seemed to be a question that came up quite a bit, and how we reclaim our power even when our circumstances try to take it from us. So, as Karen mentioned, control, influence, and nothing, all very key for us to manifest here. So, before I dive into those strategies, I just wanted to speak about something personable, self-reflection. So when I was at Air Liquide coaching managers, one thing I emphasized over and over was this: if you or your employees are surprised by the feedback you're giving or receiving, that's a red flag. Feedback shouldn't come as a surprise. It should be part of an ongoing conversation. And if it is a surprise, that's a sign you need to pause and look inward. So, yes, are these tough comments to hear if you were recently laid off? Of course. But the same rule applies. When big change hits, like job loss, it's easy to look outward right away. But start by asking yourself, was I aligned with my role before this? What parts of me was I hiding just to stay employed? And what do I really want to carry forward? You don't have to compete by having the perfect resume. You compete by having a clear story. So when I left my corporate HR job at Air Liquide, I didn't know that one day I'd be leading national sales for a South African wine brand or founding a consulting business. But what I did know was that I could solve problems, I could manage people and projects, and that I understood systems and human behavior. So that's how you stand out. Identify what you're really good at and learn how to say it simply and confidently. For those DEI professionals or federal employees on the call, DEI is still essential, but as we know, labels are shifting, the administration has taken a stance, but we can reframe how we use the term DEI into inclusive experience, people strategy, belonging design. These are ever evolving entry points. And you all might not need to pivot entirely because we might just need to reframe how you talk about what you do. So, for those of you questioning how to transition from federal to private, some of our speakers on the call have traveled to different countries, have lived or live in different countries. It's like moving countries. Learn the new language, translate your experience, use LinkedIn profiles and your networks and job posts, just as you Rosetta Stone or Duolingo and everything else. A quick networking tip: don't just apply for jobs, be visible on LinkedIn. It's really easy to do this. Comment, share your ideas, offer to help others. It's more and more common that I'm seeing people in my network ask for help with employment, ask for friends, posting friends availability, even posting children's availability if you're looking for work and things like that. It's been interesting, but I think you'd be surprised how many comments on each of these posts you see and say, hey, I have something in Houston, or hey, I have something in San Fran, or what have you. So be honest and open. People like transparency in the world that we're living in today. Some of you had questions about portfolio living, and I just wanted to talk about leveling down without shame. So there's definitely a narrative that says if you're overqualified, you should apologize for it. But let me just say clearly, your experience is your leverage, not your liability. So when I left the director level role at Idlewild Spirits, craft distillery in Colorado, I stepped into consulting. I technically leveled down in title, but not really in alignment. It really just gave me a sense of peace, flexibility, and I was continuing to grow, is how I saw it. So, for those of you who know what portfolio living is or don't, which is having multiple gigs, side projects, or consulting clients, it's not failure, it's resilience. We have to do it this day. So, really consider starting to ask yourself, what do people come to me for advice about? What feels natural even when I'm tired? And what problems do I like solving? There's your offer. And yes, don't be afraid to charge for it. You should definitely charge for it. And for the older workers that inquired, you bring something that artificial intelligence and automation cannot replicate: wisdom and context. So build your story around, I bring speed, I bring structure, I bring stories to your experience. So, and if you're considering a shift to a simpler role, don't frame it as stepping down. Frame it as you're stepping into your values alignment. Maybe you have grandkids. Maybe you have a second home that you want to spend more time at. Maybe you have a spouse that you want to spend more time with or not. All of these things you can do if you just consider realigning your values. Um, and so just to, if you're really feeling the pull towards inclusive human-centric work, go there. The world is calling for it. You don't need permission. I mean, I know you've probably heard this a million times, but start sharing your insights on LinkedIn. I think if you look at the leaders that we have here today, everybody posted content about this talk, and then they're constantly talking. They're commenting, they're sharing. Other things that you can do: volunteer or freelance in spaces that excite you. I'm involved with the Ukrainian National Women's League here in Ann Arbor. That's an easy way for me to stay involved, stay active, and give civil service. Attend niche meetups. There's a new one I just found out about called Creative Mornings that I've been attending here in Ann Arbor and Detroit. It's really awesome. It's more for in the creative space, but if you're looking just to get some fresh air, highly recommend looking it up. It's, I think, across 220 cities across the world. Creative Mornings. And then finding mentors in adjacent areas. Like if we were looking at HRBPs, DEI, employer experience, all of that. Just before I wrap up, I just wanted to speak from some personal experience here. I just want to acknowledge financial and the emotional weight of this moment that we're all experiencing right now. Many of us, or many of you, have not just lost jobs, but also healthcare. So it's a lot to go find a therapist. But if you have access through a spouse or the exchange or your own means, I urge you to consider it. Therapy changed my life. I've been going for 2 years. When I started about almost 2 years ago, one of my first assignments was to list out all my accomplishments. It felt silly. I definitely rolled my eyes at the time until I saw it on paper, and I realized I've done incredible things, I've created impact, and I'm a badass. So no layoff can take that away from me. So this exercise really helped me to rediscover my skills, update my resume, and reframe my value. On the financial side of things, after facing a large unexpected tax bill, I got real about budgeting and adult about money. Use apps like YNAB, Rocket Money, Simpler Budget to start your budget. It's super easy to connect your accounts, audit your spending. That weekly takeout that you're getting, maybe a couple times, Uber Eats, DoorDash, it adds up. And set a grocery budget and plan your meals. Meal prep, it's not hard. YouTube some videos. You can eat well without eating ramen every night, I promise you. So small changes helped me feel grounded, and it sounds like Karen does small things every day as well to keep her grounded. And from there, we can all move forward again. So thank you for your time today, and I will pass it on.